Well, hello and welcome back to Flash Knockdown Series 6, episode number 6 from our brand new studio. Big week for Matchroom on DAZN. Of course, Saturday night, Dave Allen against Arslanbek Makhmudov in Sheffield. And then across the pond in Philadelphia, Bozy Ennis makes the maiden voyage into the super welterweight division when he faces Wisma Lever. All live on DAZN. But as far as the show goes, here's what we have coming up for you all on today's show. Things are about to get heavy in the Flash Knockdown studio. Our 18-year-old 2-0 blue chip prospect Leo Atang is in town. And this is not a drill. Louis Tomlinson, yes, Louis Tomlinson, singer-songwriter and friend of Dave Allen, joins us from New York City for a little chat. Also stateside, Bozy Ennis gives us a few sound bites on the Jack Catterall link-up. Eddie Hearn joins us on the blower for the weekly lowdown. I catch up with Cruiserweight sharpshooter Pat Brown in a forest up north. And yes, we hear a few words from Matchroom's latest signing, the surgeon, Ben Whittaker. All the usual chat, quiz and much more coming up. Don't go anywhere. We're very happy to say joining us on the blower now is promoter Eddie Hearn. And look at him, like a Cheshire cat, finally got his man. Eddie, I'll just over to you straight away. A massive news for Matchroom. You must be over the moon.
Yeah, I mean, probably if you said to me, you know, the last year or so or more, if you could sign one person right now in world boxing, who would it be? Ben Whittaker's name would be right up there, especially in the UK market. I mean, he's done a sensational job of promoting himself and really hasn't had, in my opinion, you know, the right trajectory and the right guidance in terms of his actual boxing career. You know, commercially, the guy is a superstar. He has a huge following. He's a world-class fighter. We've known that since the amateurs. And, you know, for those that don't know, we actually filmed the promo with Ben Whittaker about 2 or 3 years ago when we were about to sign him. And it broke down, literally at signature. And we watched him the last couple of years, probably, you know, myself, kicking myself as well, thinking, you know, with us, this kid would be on another level. And now we'll make up for lost time. Ben Whittaker is a Matchroom fighter. And we are going to do an outstanding job with him. You know, I think sometimes they say as a trainer, you're only as good as the fighter that you coach. You know, as a promoter, sometimes you're only as good as the fighter that you promote. This kid's got it all. And commercially, he just gets it. I think we are looking at, in my opinion, a new superstar in the sport of boxing, a guy that can transcend audiences. You know, even like when I was discussing it with my daughter the other day, who's 15, she doesn't really follow boxing. And I said, oh, we signed a guy called Ben. You signed Ben Whittaker? I'm like, I didn't even know you know Ben Whittaker. Oh, of course I know Ben Whittaker. You know, he just like that younger age group, the older age group, that generation. And more than that, no one has seen even an iota of how good he is, right? Coming out of the Olympics, coming out of GB, everybody knew this guy is a superstar talent. Now you're really going to get to see it, and you're going to see it on a global level, and we're going to take him all the way to the top.
How did it all happen? How did the conversations go? How did it come together?
Well, I mean, obviously, we've got that history of, like, we literally agreed a deal 2 or 3 years ago. Boxer came in and just threw an extraordinary amount of money at him. And, you know, sometimes that's going to turn your head. I felt like it was a mistake at the time. But every time I saw him, you know, I would say to him, you know, we didn't even have to say anything. We kind of felt like we knew this day was coming. There's been a lot of talk over the last, you know, few months about his future. But I've always said, you know, we won't have those discussions till we get confirmation from those fighters that they're clear to have them. And once they did that, you know, it's never easy at that level. You know, you see the promo coming out with the Jerry Maguire copy that we did, and that's you've got to make these stars feel like stars, you know. And it's been difficult over the years because I've admired Ben Whittaker, I've admired his ability, and I've admired his also his ability to commercialize and promote himself and to build his own brand. But you can't really big it up that much because he's not your fighter. Do you know what I mean? So you're admiring from far all the moves in the ring walks, the building of the social media profiles, You know, the way his Instagram followings just going, you know, million after million after million. And you're kind of sitting there in frustration thinking, if I had this fighter, we could just together go to a different level. So, but you can't at the same time give interviews and tell everyone how great Ben Whittaker is, because he's not a Matchroom fighter. Now I can. I can tell you how great Ben Whittaker is. And like I said, not just as a self-promoter and a guy that understands that commercialization, but as a fighter. That's the most important thing. Our team, our commercial team, our social media team, our digital team, our PR team, they're second to none. And yeah, I'll have the megaphone from the rooftops talking about Ben Whittaker, but I'm more interested on how do we navigate Ben Whittaker into a position to fight for the championship of the world? And how do we do that and get him to unify and become undisputed? That's what I'm interested in. Yeah, I want him to be a star. I want him to make money. And I want us all to make money. But I want him to achieve what I believe he can, which is create a legacy in the sport. And I'll be hands-on as the captain, if you like, steering the ship and making sure we maneuver all the way to the top.
You talked about the Jerry Maguire promo. A bit disappointed we didn't see you in the SWAT team promo as well, to be honest.
Oh, I don't know, Frank Smith's head's gone completely. I mean, what kind of world are we living in now where Frank Smith is going into promos as a member of the SWAT team? I mean, like, what is that all about?
Well, do you know what happened?
No.
So I was there at 9 a.m, right? Frank rocked until 5. Frank rocks up at 5 to 5. I was his stunt double all day, which I don't know if it's a compliment or an insult to me or Frank. But I did all the hard work, ran around in a bulletproof vest for 8 hours, all for him just to have the money shot to take the balaclava off. So I don't think it.
I think the head's gone completely. And then meanwhile, I've got to shoot the Jerry Maguire scene in the office. I mean, actually, I thought Whittaker was outstanding. I mean, beyond the boxing, there's definitely an acting career for him, but it's all good fun. And you know, I think people are going to be very excited by this partnership. And it was a massive signing for us.
I heard you on FaceTime to Ben, and you were going 1, and you were saying stuff. 2, you were saying stuff, and he looked after you put the phone down and laughed. And he said, "I know Eddie's been practicing that for years, but what is that? Aside from taking him to the top, what else is the vision? Because I think he wants to box in America, doesn't he?"
Yeah, I said number one, we're going to navigate your career and, you know, achieve and improve as a fighter. Number 2, we're going to continue to grow you commercially. Number 3, we want to create a legacy in the sport. Number 4, we want to make a shitload of money. And number 5, and most importantly, we're going to look good doing it. And that's exactly what I said to him. And that's, you know, that's what we're going to do. I don't need an instruction manual about how to promote Ben Whittaker. I can do it in my sleep because you've got the perfect product. You've got the perfect fighter. My biggest concern is to make sure that we give him the fights and the opportunity and the activity and the experience to make sure that when he hits that elite level, he's ready. He's got one of the best trainers in the world in Andy Lee, right? And I think the setup now is perfect for Ben. Now, he hasn't boxed for a while. You know, we want to get him out this side of the year, get him a top 15 guy, get into the flow, look good, and we attack 2026 all guns blazing. And like I said, we get him into a position by the mid to end of 2026 to fight for the light heavyweight world championship. And, you know, it's an unbelievable division. You're not going to get many gimmies. You got Bivol, you got Beterbiev, you got Benavidez, you got Morrell, you got Callum Smith. You know, it's just deep in talent. But this guy has it all on those levels. And he's got, you know, he's going to have the ability to prove it.
Could it be that end of November date, maybe?
Yes, I mean, it's a very strong possibility. But look, you will see Ben Whittaker out this year in the UK. And it's going to be a fast turnaround. You know, literally got this done and then straight into camp. So he'll be ready.
Happy days. And just quickly, of course, big week for Matchroom, both in the UK and across the pond. A quick word on both main events and what most excites you, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, for starting with America, Bozy Ennis, you know, just speaking to Sam Jones a minute ago, who's just finished sparring with Jack Catterall and Boots Ennis out there in Philadelphia. And, you know, I'm sure Sam won't mind me saying, he said, I've never seen a fighter like this before. And Jack was saying, I won't say Jack's exact words, but he basically said that he's the best fighter he's ever been in with. And no one's beaten him. This is what Sam said. At 154 to 168, no one is beating Jerome Boots Ennis. I'm so confident that this guy is the man to, say, replace Terence Crawford, but, you know, he's that fighter that is going to go on, become unified, undisputed in many different weight classes. He is massive at 154. I mean, I don't even know what he was doing at 147, but you're going to see a completely different fighter at 154. And, you know, Lima, I'm excited for Lima because this kid is a good fighter and he is game, and he will come to Philadelphia with the absolute intention to knock Jerome Ennis out. But it's also a risky business, because you do that against a fighter like Boots. Don't get me wrong, the fight's going to be electric. But Boots may be this Saturday making a statement to make everybody understand and realise just how special he is. I'm telling you now, Fundora, Mersaliev, Virgil Ortiz, he beats them all in unbelievable style. But we've got to land those fights. Xander Zayas, he's the same. And these are all great fighters. They're not on Boots' level. This guy is the pound for pound number one in the weighting. And he's going to win world championships at 54 and unify. He's going to move to 60. He's going to win world championships. He's going to unify. He's going to move to 168. He's going to win world championships. He's going to unify. This is how good this guy is. And it's a great card in Philadelphia. We'll have around 10,000 in there again. It's going to be electric. And look, the other side of the pond, I mean, the Dave Allen Makhmudov fight has got so much traction. I don't, sometimes you make a fight and you think, I've got a sneaky feeling this is going to do well. You know, I'm thinking, I think we could do 5,000. You know, we're going to have over 8,000 in there. It's going to be one of the biggest shows we've ever done in Sheffield. And I'm nervous for Dave, really nervous. And he, you know, I think the reason that people love Dave Allen, he's on Instagram Live and he's telling you he's bricking it about fighting this guy. Like, he's going, I don't know if I'm going to win or I'm going to get chinned inside 3 rounds. And he's probably going to be one or the other in terms of how it plays out. Makhmudov is a wrecking machine, but he does fade in the middle end of the fight once he's unleashed hell on you. Dave's got to ride that out. Dave's got to hang in there. Dave's got to make him work. And then Dave's got to punish him when the tank starts emptying. And that's a massive, like I said to Dave the other day, Dave, I'm telling you now, you win this fight, mate. And you know, I said in the interviews, and we joke about, you know, now he's got the ensuite and I'm talking about dirty great mansion with solid electric gates. This is what I'm talking about. You win this fight. And that's what I want more than anything. I want to watch Dave Allen on Instagram. I'll pop round his house and I want to see him playing in the most beautiful garden with his kids. You know, I want to turn up one day to his house and I want to press the buzzer, you know, and he picks up, hello. I say, is this the Dave Allen Palace? That's what I want. And this is the fight that is going to give him the opportunity to achieve that. You know, and as mad as it seems, this is a fight that could lead him to a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship, because the momentum from here, you know, we talk about Ben Whittaker as a star. Who else is selling 8,000 tickets, you know, to fight an international Russian? Dave Allen wins this fight. He's selling out the O2. He's completely selling out Sheffield Arena, Manchester Arena. Bring all the big names in.
Just before we let you go, Ed, I do have to ask you, we've had a question sent in from the fans about your most embarrassing moment that's happened in boxing for me and Scott. Obviously, mine was when I threw up in your hotel room. Am I allowed to talk about that or not?
Awful.
Can I talk about it?
Like, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can do, yeah. Oh. I mean, what was it? How long ago was this? 4 years ago? So this was, you were probably like literally, what?
2019, I think that was.
Was it? 6 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we went out, didn't we? And we were having some pizza or whatever in the hotel, and you just go into my bathroom and just throw up everywhere in the bathroom. And you come out, and I just saw Frank like going in there and like clambering in and cleaning it all up.
Tried to save me.
I just threw up in your bathroom. I was like, thanks, mate. And the unbelievable thing is, you're still here.
Oh no.
You know, so you must have a bit of ability. What was Hammer Times?
Some rubbish about interrupting a New Age press conference. Boring.
Also, what about Hammer Time when he missed the AJ fight? to go to the Spurs game.
Yes.
Absolute liberties.
Matt, we're both
I tell you
here.
what, how he's still got a job. If I weren't a Spurs fan, he would have been off. I suppose mine's got to be the Shamal one.
Yeah, but I still think you
I
did that on
struggle with
purpose.
mine.
I think that was marketing genius from you that day.
No, I tell you what, you guys rate me so much. You think that I'd even do that, but
Yeah.
maybe the on-site one after the Eubank Ben presser, that was up there. That was a bit
good.
cringe, wasn't it?
Cheers, Ed. Thanks so much for your time, mate, and happy days. We'll see you soon.
Mr. Ben Whittaker, welcome officially to the Matchroom boxing team. Sounds good.
It's got a nice ring to it, man.
We've been here before, obviously. Before we look forward, let's maybe take a quick reflection. April 2022, Manchester, promo shoots. What can you remember from that day?
It was a whirlwind, man. But yeah, we did the shoot, did everything we're supposed to, but it didn't come to plan like we thought. But we're here now, and that's the main thing.
I'll just show you some quick stills from that day.
Okay.
You've probably never seen them. They've never seen the light of day. What sort of comes to mind when you're seeing Ben Whittaker 3 years ago in this environment?
I look a bit skinny, chubby, and thank God I found my barber that day, man. But, you know, like I said, things happen for a reason, and we're here now.
Yeah, and that reason, as you say, brings us forward a couple of years later. Why was now the right time to sign for Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing?
I just think, like I said, things happen for a reason. We've aligned. What he's got going on is great. He's professional. I'm at a certain point in my career where I've got the platform. I just need the right route, the right fights, and the titles. And he can do it. Matchroom can do it, so it made sense.
10 fights into your pro journey now, the back of a esteemed amateur career. What have you learned in these 10 professional fights so far?
Yeah, I've only had 10, but I've learned a lot, you know. And the good thing is I've had a lot of ups and downs in those 10 fights. And I think that little bit of experience I've got from those will take me far in my career. Like you said, in the amateurs I did everything. World medals, European medals, Olympic medals. But nothing is like the pro game. I think I'm ready for it.
Kind of feels like, in more ways than one, obviously the promotional deal and also the next chapter of your career, it kind of feels like the second phase of your journey. Is that how you're kind of looking at it as well?
Yeah, like I said, I've had 10 fights, but I feel like it's a debut again. I feel like it's a fresh start, a new chapter, a chapter that I needed. I've got a good team behind me. I've got like Andy Lee as well. So for me, it's like a fresh start. And my next fight will be like my debut again.
We'll come on to Andy Lee shortly. Let's just talk about Eddie Hearn. When was the first time you met Eddie? Can you remember?
Oh, I think the first ever time I actually probably met him was in Sheffield. He probably came down for AJ. AJ, he was fond of me then, probably told him about me. He's always kept his eye on me. We always knew this time would come. We didn't know when, and we're here now.
Yeah, Eddie was quoted on the Ariel Hawani show recently saying, kind of feels inevitable. He obviously didn't give the game away that you were signing with Matchroom or close to signing with Matchroom, but did it kind of feel inevitable with you as well at some point? You would eventually be here with Matchroom?
Yeah, like all my family know this is who I wanted to be. Like I said, at that time, the move I made then was right for me, but I knew down the line I was going to be here. We're here now. I'm excited. I feel like it's a professional team. I feel comfortable here. I know everybody here, so it's nothing new, but it is new, if that makes sense.
I'm going to show you another photo, which is on your Instagram. This is how the first conversation went down. Fight camp, I believe that was, a year before.
Yeah.
Even come for the promo shoot.
Yeah.
What was that first conversation then?
Yeah, like I said, we were supposed to be signing pretty much then, so he was showing me around, showing me the fights, and he said, I'm going to make you a champion. It didn't work out then, and like I said, thank God, I got rid of my barber then. But we're here now with a better haircut and a better version of me.
The conversation's been quite similar to what they were a couple of years ago. The end route and the destination and the journey.
Yeah,
It's the same.
yeah, I'd say the plan, the route, everything's been the same. But of course, I've grew in popularity. My profile's got bigger, and so it's changed a little bit. But I think the end route is still me being a world champion and being a household name.
On the way to that World Championship route, you've obviously collected the IBF European title. What other sort of routes to a world title have you identified? Any other sort of ranking belts or European sort of belts along the way that are on your list?
I just got the IBF right now. I'm ranked in a couple of governing bodies like the WBC. I'm 8 and a couple of others. But for me, that's why I'm on board with Matchroom. I feel like they can get you the right rankings, the right belts at the right time, and guide you to a championship. And that's what I'm here for.
Let's look at the lay of the land of the light heavyweight division at the minute. It's obviously one of the most, I guess, sexiest divisions in the game.
Yeah.
We've had the rivalry with Dimitri and Nata. of recent years now. You must have enjoyed that as a fan, first and foremost.
Yeah, I think it's the fight that needed to happen. It was a great fight, the one-on-one. Hopefully someone can edge it out, make it 2-1. But it was a great fight. It was needed. The division's a great division right now, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Do you think you might have to be patient in the division because they are kind of tied up? Dimitri's obviously injured as well. The belts could fragment. It's a couple of interim belts. Are you maybe looking at a long game here?
Like I said, that's what I've joined Matchroom for. They can do that for me. The good thing is I'm 28. I'm still young for the division, so I've got a lot of time on my side. I've got the skills. For me, it's put them in front of me, I'll beat them.
One fight this year, so the rematch with Lee and Cameron back in April. Firstly, it must be nice just to have moved on from that chapter of the saga, if you want to call it that. What did you learn about yourself in that as well?
I learned a lot, really. I learned how good I truly am. I learned what I should have done in the first one. And I learned you can't take your career for granted. Like I said, my popularity grew so fast and everything was just happening at the 100 miles an hour. I got a bit lost with it. But after that fight, regrouped with Andy Lee. I really locked in, really focused. And I showed you a serious me was a dangerous me.
What attributes has Andy maybe brought on in your game, first and foremost?
I think he's just opening up my eyes to how good I really am. It's a bit more of a calmer environment, and it's an environment where you don't get distracted. You're in Ireland, I know nobody there. It's literally just a gym and home, and a fight like that is a dangerous fighter.
You've obviously got that Kronk sort of grounding,
Yeah.
taking any of the aggressiveness that he instills in his fighters. Can you see that coming through now?
Yeah, he loves knockouts, of course, and I showed him my last fight I can hurt people, but he knows I'm a pure boxer as well. You don't get Olympic medals for not being able to box, so we show him both elements. I only got to show it in 2 rounds, but hopefully through my career, you'll see more of it.
Feels like it's kind of a bit of a hub. You know, you've obviously got Galal, who's now mandated again for a world title. We've got people like Ibrahim Suleiman coming through as well. Kind of feels like you can all grow together.
Yeah, back in the day, we had so much talent there, but nobody would really come down and put the shows there. It was always London or Manchester, which had great fighters as well. But I feel like Birmingham or the Midlands was always overlooked. And I feel privileged to be in the position where I'd say I'm one of the faces of it, and we're bringing up the next generation as well. So it's good to be a part of it.
Activity key next year? Do you want to be nice and active?
Yeah, 100%. I think activity is key. I need to just stay in the ring. That's when you learn. That's when you put the performances on. So for me, an active year and hopefully a great year for me.
You mentioned the lay of the land of the light heavyweight division. How far away do you think maybe in terms of number of fights you are before you move into that top end world title contention?
Truthfully, if you ask me, if you ask Andy, what I've been doing in the gym, we're ready now. The pro boxing is a business. So for me, it's do what I'm supposed to do in the gym. Eddie, my manager, Frank, they can sort it out. And here we are.
Well, of course, as you know by now, been building up to this for a long time. A huge night in the career for the White Rhino. Dave Allen this Saturday in Sheffield. And did you know that Doncaster De La Hoya used to go to school with a certain Louis Tomlinson? Louis Tomlinson from, of course, One Direction, and now cracking it as a solo artist. We managed to get some time with the second most famous man in Doncaster in the build-up to Dave's fight to reminisce. Have a look at this.
I first met Dave when I was, I think, maybe 12 or 13. I joined his school in about year 8. And I definitely got to know him a little bit better because we played for the same football team. So yeah, a long old time now, makes me feel old. My first impression of Dave, really quick. He was known as being a real quick runner. He was a decent footy player, but he was a very, very fast runner. I knew Dave was tough when I must have been about 14 or 15 at this point, and I remember being a young lad and we always used to nick the football. We used to steal the football the year above, and it often didn't end well. And I remember one time I'd nicked the football. One of these older lads had pushed me to the floor and kicked me when I was on the floor, which obviously not ideal. I remember just seeing Dave just pick this lad up by his neck, slam him on the floor. Made me feel pretty good. I don't think if Dave ever got in trouble at school, it was usually for, I'm not sure he really did. I don't remember him being a bad lad like that. Probably talking like the rest of us. Deep down, he's just a really good guy. Obviously, you know, I've known him for years now, but it's amazing to see someone succeed that's so humble and absolutely no ego and no filter. So yeah, I think, you know, people like him because he says it how it is, and you know, especially in the spotlight, people don't often talk like that, so I definitely respect that. But I will say I've been to watch him once against David Price, and it was quite intense, you know, knowing someone personally and seeing them in the ring. So yeah, I would love to do it. It's just quite intense as a friend to see your mate get smashed about. I'll tell you what would be really nice for me and Dave to do together, to be honest. Go and watch Donny Rovers game, Doncaster Rovers, that'd be nice. Yeah, I just want to say massive luck, man. Sending you all of my love. You really, really deserve this. I'm sure you've really put the hard work in. And yeah, sending you all the luck, man.
Well, from one international heartthrob to another, only joking, obviously not talking about myself. I am indeed talking about 18-year-old 2-0 blue chip prospect in the heavyweight division. Mr. Leo Atang is in the studio here this afternoon. Leo, thanks so much for coming down from beautiful York. How are you, sir?
I'm all good. Thank you for having me.
Well, pleasure. Now, listen, I do like York. I've been once before. Being a proud man from York, in terms of that local support, how have you noticed how things have shifted in the early stage of your professional journey?
Yeah, it's been really nice. Everyone, like, every time I'm walking down the street or just going about my day as normal, I see people, see familiar faces, some not so familiar, but everyone's saying positive things, getting behind me, and it's nice to see a whole city almost get behind me.
How do you try and, I guess, grow that support in York naturally, doing things the way you want to do things?
It's fair. I just go about my normal day, really, because I try to be out and about quite a bit, not like in a bad way, but like, you know, through the day. So I try to see everyone and just, you know, I stay as normal, because it is all still normal to me. And yeah, seeing everyone, seeing the familiar faces, almost, it makes them want to come and support me and see me fight and support the journey, yeah.
And so early on in the journey, just 2 fights in, 2 first round wins, which we'll talk about. But when you look at the scene in York, I guess when you first turn professional, you're always looking, when people ask you what is the dream. I mean, Henry Wharton, I think 3 times boxed for world honours, lost to familiar names, Eubank and Nigel Benn. But do you believe you can be that man? And is there potential to bring big nights to York?
Definitely. I wouldn't do it if I didn't believe it. He's a bit of a legend in York. Everyone knows him. You talk about boxing in York, you're talking about him. So I want to emulate that. I want that for myself, but I want to, you know, sell out that football stadium one day, get world titles. Like, I want to be walking around like the man, but not at the same time as well, because I like being normal and I like being a kid.
What was life like growing up for you in York at school and life in general? I mean, you're still young now, but what was even younger Leo Atang like?
It was rough. I'm joking. It was actually not at all. Yeah, it was fun. I was just a normal kid. I just enjoyed everything, you know, did every sport, had a laugh with my mates, enjoyed school at times, you know. Like, I couldn't think of anything else other than say I'm just a normal kid.
What sports did you play at school?
Football at lunch, scenes.
A few last minute winners between the jumpers on the floor?
Not from myself, but from others, yeah. I played rugby for a bit. I played that till I was about 14, and then I quit. And obviously got into boxing at around 11, 12-ish, and then took it seriously from there.
How did that happen? Boxing, why? What was the reason?
I did every sport there was, really. I was an active kid, so I like to do things. And then when I went there, and it was almost the fact that it was a solo sport, and there's like no one else can do it for you, if that makes sense. You lose, it's on you. You win, it's also on you. And I like that, and I also like that. I went in there. I mean, I never was a kid who thought he was the hardest kid around, but you know, I can take him. But straight away, you just get humbled once you're in there. So I just think it's proper. It's more than just a sport, boxing. Definitely, that's what got me addicted to it.
For those who aren't familiar, what was the amateur pedigree like, and what was the highlight for you?
So as in like everything I won. I won 5 national titles. I won a Tri-Nations gold. I won a European silver, a European gold, and then under 19 World Championships.
Was that the best moment?
Actually, no. I think the best one was winning the Europeans, because the year before I'd lost, and then obviously I went back, put more effort. Obviously, I put effort in for the other one, but even more, I pushed myself that little bit, and it just made it all sweeter, actually, winning it, especially as the year below this time as well.
When I guess you were sitting with the team and looking at decisions then and turning professional, we're seeing it happen a lot earlier on now in boxers' journeys, especially with a bit of uncertainty around the Olympics and boxing at the moment. What was the decision like for you, and why was Eddie someone you wanted to work with?
I'll admit we sat with everyone, but it was, we did no.
I don't think Eddie knows that. Eddie thinks he thinks that you were the only one he wanted.
Just don't watch this, Eddie. But no, I sat with everyone, but I really deep in the back of my mind there was a little thought like Eddie's done a lot. Eddie is kind of the man at the moment, and I definitely wanted to be part of the Matchroom business. So when we sat down with him and he said everything I wanted to hear, like we had to a little nudge, like, yeah, we'll have a think about it, and the call straight on it. So yeah, I was very happy to be signed with Eddie. It was a proud moment for me, definitely as well, because it's like you're watching you're watching your age, you're watching all them big fights growing up, and that's all through Matchroom. And so to say that I'm part of that now, it's like a bit of a pinch me moment.
Why do you think now was the right time?
For me, it was activity. I was getting to a point where I wasn't getting fights in the amateurs. I was just getting pullouts left, right, and centre. And then the one deciding moment for me is the Europeans. They got moved to the end of this year, and I entered the national championships in January, and there was no one in it. So I thought, all my mates, Adam, obviously, the next best thing. He was fighting. I was watching him. I was watching Tia, the next best female thing. I was watching them all get to fight, and it's like, man, what am I doing? I'm just stood here.
What's Sonny Edwards like as an advisor, manager behind the scenes?
He's funny, and he's got, he's so knowledgeable. Like, he knows the ins and outs of the sport, outside of the ring and inside the ring. Like, he's in my corners, he's shouting stuff as well, like helping out my coach Josh Martin. So yeah, he's giving so much support as well, and like outside the ring as well. He's like, do this, don't do this, watch yourself when you do this. Like, he's definitely helping me.
When you take yourself back to, what was it, July, the debut, wasn't it?
Yeah, July.
I mean, that week I felt sorry for you, Leo, to be honest, mate, because the pressure that you must have felt on your shoulders was immense. When you do look back now, how do you remember feeling on that Monday of your first professional fight week?
I was absolutely bricking it. Like, I'll be honest, yeah, I was. And I was open about that, because I was hoping someone would just say some word of advice which would make me feel better. But no, there's nothing no one could say that was going to make me feel better in that moment. So I almost just had a word to myself and like, there's a reason they're putting this on you. So just go out there and do your thing. You've boxed at the high, like, without bigging myself up, everyone. I've boxed at the highest level I could as an amateur. So if I can do that there, you can do it against Milan Pavnov, I think his name is.
Pavnov, yeah.
Shout out Pavnov. But yeah, like I can do it against these guys, and there's a reason that they're putting all this pressure on me, because they've obviously seen something. So I wanted to just almost back myself and show it to everyone.
It just seemed to be getting more and more intense for you, though, because I mean, I think during the fight week, Eddie brings you to the Matchroom rebrand launch party. He unveils you alongside Frank Bruno and Anthony Joshua. I mean, it was crazy, really.
You know what? And I'll be honest. At first, I didn't want to go. I wanted to just do a normal fight week, do everything right. Nothing's gonna mess me up. And then next minute, oh no, you've had an opponent pull out. You're having a change. Right, I've got to go to London now on the Tuesday. And I'm like, whoa, what's happening? So like my head's gone west. But now, looking back on it from the Sunday, I'm like, Anto even said it. He was like, well, man, I don't drink, guys, don't worry. But if Carlsberg did fight weeks, he was like, it was perfect. Every part of it was just perfect.
At what point then, Leo, did the nerves go?
On the ring walk, because I had a little peek round and I seen a few people, but when I actually did that first ring walk and I seen everyone and the music came on, and it was the same music I've had in my headphones for ages, whilst running, whilst doing all this, and then I've seen everyone's cheering, everyone's liked the music. I'm like, oh, this is a bit of me, and straight on it.
And I guess when the bell rang, it didn't take too long. But how did you feel actually in the ring, in the little gloves? How did it all feel for that first experience?
Yeah, like genuinely, I wasn't even thinking of the no head guard, the little gloves. I was just in there, excited. But the second I actually got in the ring, I'm like, oh, this is your home. You're in there every week, every day. So it's like, just do what you normally do. Obviously got in there and did my thing, and then by the time I've got to the change room, I was like, I just realised I didn't have an head guard then. I had the smaller gloves on. I didn't have a top on, and it's like, all this stuff you almost forget about because you're just thinking about everything else. Like I can't even remember what I was actually thinking of other than the fight. Like
was there a bit of relief when you did get the stoppage? What was the feeling like for you in that exact moment, given everything you'd been feeling in the build-up?
Definitely. Like, I did everything I could do on the debut. I know he wasn't a world-beater opponent, but the pressure and stuff they put on me, I couldn't see myself getting like a nice like shutout points victory. No one's getting all this hype and excited just to see that. So I was like, I need to do something good here. So I did the best I could. And
then fight number 2, Sunderland. How did you feel in comparison to everything you'd gone through the first fight week?
Again, I still felt a bit nervous with it. Like, right, you need to do the same again. And I know that opponent I'd had, he'd definitely taken people the distance, like quite a few like prospects and stuff, and had a draw with a prospect and stuff. So I was like, as much as his record didn't suggest it, I knew that a lot of people on the boxing scene said that he was a tough test. So I almost was actually expecting to go rounds. I just accepted it. But when I got in there, and I did catch him, it was like a nice little relief. Like, oh, maybe there is a reason I'm getting a bit of this hype. So I'm not believing in it all, obviously, because you want to keep grounded. But it's definitely like a step in the right direction.
Unfortunately for you with that victory, and I think it was actually the shot that cemented the win, there was an injury. What can you tell us about what happened?
So unfortunately, I had an avulsion fracture on my, I don't know what bone it is, but there. So I got the cast off about 2 days ago. But I mean, it's a little setback. Obviously, it's not ideal, and I wanted to be on the card this weekend with Dave and stuff, but it's going to happen, and I'm very lucky that it wasn't a longer injury. We're moving on. We're straight into physio work now. I'm doing one-handed stuff. I'm doing everything I can do to keep on it. And the second I'm back punching, I'm ready to get the show back on the road.
What is the time frame on the rehab this year? Do you think you could be back in the ring?
Yeah, we're looking. Fingers crossed, all the physio goes well and no pain or nothing. We're looking at hopefully end of November, but it's a chance. But if it gets pushed back a bit more, then I'm not complaining either, because I'd rather get the right recovery and instead of rushing in and putting myself out for a lot longer.
You mentioned Dave Allen there. Obviously, you were due to be on the card this weekend, as you just said, in Sheffield. He's been in your corner, Dave, hasn't he, a few times? Where did that come from?
So it actually all started, I don't know if he'll remember this night, but it was the bit which followed it. So I was obviously boxing on a show. I think I was in Hull, and I don't even think he actually watched me fight. I just met him, and he was like, "Oh, well done." And I came back to the changing room and said, "Did you win?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Oh, well done." So I don't even think he actually watched me fight. But then he invited us all to spar because he had some lads who were going pro, and I think I was 14, and then I think I impressed him when I sparred, and then ever since he just kept on bringing his lads down, and I was sparring with his lads, and then with me getting a bit bigger, quite quickly, I was kind of getting too big to spar them, until fast forward to about a month ago, I ended up sparring with Dave. So it was a nice little what's the word?
Full circle moment almost.
That's the one, yeah. But he's always like spoke highly of me, and always giving me credit and stuff, and like giving me a lot of advice. Always been there for me. Like whenever I wanted to chat with him about something, it's like without question, he's always there. So he's definitely somebody I wanted to have in my corner and throughout my career.
Did he take it easy on you on that first spar?
I bet he'll say he did, but I don't think he did.
How do you see the fight going with Makhmudov on Saturday night for Dave?
Stoppage. It's perfect for Dave. No one's beating this version of Dave Allen. If he can do it all without even having to try hard, look at him now. He's going to do really, really, really good.
One question I do want to ask you, Leo, is a question I'm sure you've been asked so many times, but you and Moses Atang, right? There's only 2 years between you. You'll admit yourself you're at very different stages of your career right now. But what do you make of the conversation and when people are mentioning your name in the same sentence?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I get it every interview, but it's nice. This is a fighter who I definitely look up to a lot. He's very, very good, but this is a fighter who's borderline world level now. He's knocking on for world titles now. So the fact that after 2 fights I'm getting compared to him, or even in talks with him, it's nice because it knows that I'm doing something right. The people want to try and make the fight. I feel like they should let us do our own thing because we are young. We've got plenty of time. We're gonna have a long career, a lot of people writing me off straight away as well. You know, he's going to be, of course he's going to be world champion, but if you want a boring era where there's going to be no challenges, then so be it. But I'm not going to go anywhere, so of course it's going to happen down the line, and it's going to make it fun when there's a lot of competitors at the top.
It will be a massive fight one day. But
Definitely.
I was talking with some of the boys in the office about it recently. It's a fight that realistically could happen in 7-8 years' time.
Oh, yeah, it can happen down the line, but the longer it goes on, the more hype it's going to build. And I know people who know what does now are going to be like, oh, let's get the fight tomorrow. But it's stupid. You should let us build, let me build, let him build. I mean, he's done a lot of building, but I'm sure he's got a lot of improvement as well to do. I've got a lot to catching up to do, but when it does happen, shut down.
Stylistically, what do you see as perhaps the similarities that people have been talking about?
I think him himself, he doesn't box like a heavyweight at all. He's very, very fast. He's clued up, and obviously he's got the punch with it. So maybe that. I'm not one to blow my own trumpet, but I like to say that I'm quite fast for an heavyweight. I'm not as big as him, I'll admit that, but I've got growing to do. I think he matured a lot earlier than I did, so I've got a lot of growing and building to do. But again, I wouldn't shy away from that, not at all.
Asking you here then, Leo, still only 18, I think you're 19 in January.
Yeah.
But this is a question again you'd have been asked, but I always think they're good points to come back to in interviews in years to come at big moments in your career. What is the dream as an 18-year-old right now for you? What do you see when you look to the future?
I will be a very happy man when I am undisputed heavyweight world champion.
Easy, no pressure then. Well, listen, Leo, that was our chat, but there's a very important part of this chat now, which I know means a lot to you. I hear you've been revising probably more than you did for your maths exam at school, as you were telling us before this, because your good friend Adam Macker put a pretty disappointing score on the quiz leaderboard last week. So here we go. Episode number 6, face to face to face to face. Yes, welcome to the 6th instalment of the Flash Knockdown quiz, face to face to face to face. And just before we do start, producer Scott has also entered the set here today. Leo, we do just have to remind you of a story when we signed you. And look, it was a big deal, right? It was a signing that Eddie was really proud of, and he wanted to make a big song and dance about it, really. So we released all these staggered posts on Instagram of your eyes and, you know, your hands and big announcement coming soon. New signing announced tomorrow. And what did you do? You commented with an eyes emoji underneath the photo of your own teaser graphic. And I remember I put it in the group chat saying, don't think Leo's understood this one. And the first reply was, what a fucking donut.
Right.
What were you thinking?
Context. Adam was obviously, he was doing it out of the goodness, like supporting me. So
Adam Macker, you're referring to, yeah.
Adam. So he put an eyes emoji, like, come on everyone, let's get behind him. And so did his sisters and his mum, they all put it. And so everyone started commenting, oh, it's Adam Macker, it's new sign. And I was like, Adam, come on, this is supposed to be for me. So
Stealing my thunder.
So I was like, you know what, I'm going to put it as well. So then everyone will be like, yeah, no one's going to know now. And then next week I put that and everyone started liking my thing. Oh, well, it's obviously, I was like, oh, I think I've ruined it.
Shit.
I think we got you to delete the comment, did we?
Yeah, I got told off by my manager.
Blimey, that was brilliant. So it was a really big surprise, obviously, when we announced the signing of Leo Atang at Matchroom. Leo, listen, this is a big quiz, face to face to face to face. As you can see from the leaderboard, your mate Adam Macker is on there. Didn't do brilliantly last week, so the pressure is on. Here is producer Scott. He's going to show you a face and just explain the rules as well.
Thanks, Jamie. Leo, good luck. So it's 8 points at stake. 4 sections of a face carved up, 2 points for each one you get right. If you don't know the answer, you can ask for a clue. The answer then becomes 1 point. So if you're ready, we'll unveil the face on this iPad. And for those watching at home, going to bring it on screen about now. Here we go. That's yours to have a look and dissect. So where are we starting? You don't have to do it in order. You can do it any order.
Take your time as well. Don't dive in.
You haven't got too long, though. I want to go home.
Wow.
To be fair, as we alluded to last week, it's a random generated face. Last week's was pretty hard, to be fair to Adam.
It was hard.
There's 1 or 2 little tough ones in here.
And if you beat Adam, you'll get a pair of D squared jeans.
That's gone over his head. He's so engrossed.
Yeah,
No,
He's drowning.
If I say it and it's wrong, does that mean I don't get...
You're toast, yeah. So
don't
you can always ask for a clue if you're unsure.
Is the bottom one Hitchens?
Final answer?
Yeah.
It's not, no.
Oh my.
It's Austin Ammo Williams. Don't forget, you could have asked for a clue.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Great. There's no way I can get
Oh dear. So you can still beat Adam. 6 points you can
You
get.
need 3 out of 3 here. No clues.
the top one. I can like say a part of it, and because I know,
If you know,
but I don't know her name. It's a girl, isn't it?
that's a good start. Yes,
And she's Brazilian.
correct.
I don't know her name though. Like, come on.
Half a point.
Right, I tell you what. I'm quite strict on this quiz because it's a big deal to me. It means a lot. So I'm going to give you her initials.
That's
And if you get them right, you get 1 point.
there's no way I'm gonna get the initials.
The initials are BF.
I think half a point. To be fair, he's plucked it out of thin air there.
Well, she's Brazilian.
The B doesn't stand for Brazilian, though.
Biana Ferreira.
Oh! You know what?
Swear down.
You got the surname. We will give you.
Beatrice, but she does go by Bia, so Biana.
We'll give you 2 points for that.
One of the worst shouts of all time.
What are we doing? The second or third one?
The second one. Is it Jordan Thompson?
No. I think Jordan's coming in the studio next week, so we'll let him know about that. It's not. No. Probably couldn't get further away in terms of weight categories. To be fair.
Oh, I know. Like, what are we on about?
Third one. You know the third one.
Do you want to know
trust me.
who the one was you got wrong?
Yeah, go on.
Jesse Bam Rodriguez, Ring Magazine, pound for pound number 6, unified world champion, super flyweight.
I know who he is, but why?
Do you?
What?
You're now on 2 points. So if you get this one right, with no clue, you draw with Adamaka.
And they're all Matchroom fighters.
This one is not Matchroom fighter, no. The third one. So the 3 so far have been. This one is not a Matchroom fighter. You will know who it is, trust me.
Let me see it again.
Nick Ball.
Oh, Leo.
I didn't know you knew Nick Ball, but no, that's not the answer.
Can I see it again? Because I actually forgot
Yeah.
who it was. Let me see. Just turn it around.
What am I on about? That's
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know what? It's actually
No, wait, can I
it's
just
a bit
say
of a
it?
shit photo because he's usually got a beard. That's
Is
your last-
it Dave Allen?
It's not.
Can I say who I think it is?
Go on.
Big Joe Parker.
It's not.
Is it not?
No. So
Johnny
he's a-
Fisher?
He's a heavyweight. No, it's Tyson Fury.
No.
That's
it's
not-
never.
Tyson Fury with a clean shaven beard.
How was I going to get that?
So you got no points?
I got one.
I mean, 2. That's generous. Leo, listen, you've been involved in a couple of big nights in your professional journey so far. You've had the highs.
Can you put it a little higher?
Put it even lower down.
He's stuck.
Don't give me that much of a gap.
About there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, with the highs come the lows in this game and in life. Where does this moment sit for you on the low end?
I'll probably be blacking out my Instagram tonight.
It's a learning curve, mate. Don't worry. You can
I
come back
will-
stronger.
If anyone sees me at the show, you won't see me because my hood will be up, head will be down. I'll come back from this.
Listen, thanks so much for coming down.
It's just
Top man.
thanks.
Appreciate it. Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
It's
Sorry.
actually a bit of a solemn.
So, yeah, it's gone
bit
really,
embar- it's a
really
bit
quiet in
embar-
here.
It's a bit
Yeah.
embarrassing to be
It has
honest.
gone quiet in here.
Let's wrap this up quick. Come on.
I expected so much more.
Can I FaceTime Adam now and pretend I got 8? Just for a laugh.
Absolutely.
Just to see his face.
What, so you got 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we get to reveal what you actually
Yeah.
got when the show goes out. So we
Yeah.
won't tell him what you actually got.
Yeah. Don't say anything crazy.
You are?
Don't say anything crazy.
Adam, what's happening?
Hey, mate, you right?
I wasn't going to anyway.
Adam, big news. Leo Atang has just done the quiz and look where he is.
Oh, piss off. That's a lie. That is a lie.
No, it's not.
You didn't get all
Levels.
Who was
Levels.
Chuck him
Who
in.
was it?
Levels.
Adam, how good is that? Now, listen, as you know, last week, honesty's key on this show. And I stitched you up a little bit, didn't I? So, Leo Atang, I can confirm, did not get 8.
What are you doing?
He actually got 2 and is at the bottom of the leaderboard. So I'll pass you back to him just to say well done, basically.
Well, this is awkward. I feel like I've been backstabbed here.
You should have learnt from last week.
I want to big up the. Sorry, what is it? A quiz?
Oh my god.
Yep.
the biggest and best quiz in world boxing.
Thank you, mate. Means a
Peace
lot.
out.
And what about to Leo? Do you have anything to say to him?
I mean, he doesn't really text me back nowadays. He's too big time. So. Ain't spoken to him for a while. Good speaking to you, Leo. Good hearing from you, bro.
Just cut him off.
Get out of here. Levels, remember that.
Oh, that was good fun. Sorry, mate. But listen, you should have learned from last week.
I actually should have.
So where's next time?
Thanks for coming down, mate.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Well, we just finished clay pigeon shooting, which will be dropping very soon on Matchroom Boxing YouTube channel. Keep your eyes peeled for that one. Ordinary People, episode number 5, here with Pat Brown. Pat, it's fight week for Dave Allen, your mate. How's he been looking? Because he looks, from the photo, since he's had a shave, he looks unbelievable.
Well, everyone always said for when he was boxing against Fisher, this is the best Dave Allen, this and that. Whereas the Dave Allen now, I would say the one for Fisher is nowhere near the best Dave Allen, because the Dave Allen right now, I'm body sparring him, I'm sparring him, he's fit as a fiddle. He used to always gas a little bit and I'd be talking in his ear and stuff, whereas now he just believes in himself and he knows he's put the work in. And yeah, you've seen it for your own eyes, he's in tremendous shape. Dave will always have a belly on him, that ain't going to go anywhere, but it's more the definition and how long he can keep going for. And Dave's always been very smart in the ring in terms of managing the time, managing his energy, whereas now he's going to be managing it all with a tank of V8 power. That 3 litre guzzler Dave Allen is going to be like a wrecking ball, trust me. And yeah, I can't wait, and I'm probably just as nervous as he is because I know how big it is, but I do really believe he's going to get the job done, and then it opens doors for him that are huge, and he deserves it.
You two have become great mates, which is lovely to see.
Yeah, we have, to be fair. At first, it was a bit of like a macho off, to be honest, in the gym.
Yeah,
we weren't mates, to be honest. We were just like, I used to think, who does he think he is? Him trying to throw his weight around and all that, and he was the same to me. But yeah, it's blossomed into a good friendship, and I do class him as a very good friend of mine. And if he ever needs me, I'm there for him, and vice versa. And yeah, he's a good man. He is a good man.
Last two. Quickly, how do you think he beats Arslan Beck Makhmudov on Saturday night?
I reckon he knocks him out. I do. Overarm right, straight over the top, on his chin. Yeah.
And just finally, all going well for Dave.
Yeah.
Eddie's talking about Deontay Wilder. Who would you like to see him fight? All going well.
Yeah, Deontay Wilder would be perfect for him. Deontay Wilder's past it. He's not a big heavyweight, he's just tall and rangy. Obviously he's got that dangerous power, but he's well and truly past it. I think ever since Fury's, messed with him mentally, he's not been the same. And Dave will maul him, and Dave is the stronger man in there. Maybe not punch power, that like bump, but in general, Dave is the stronger man, and that will be a good fight afterwards as well, and I rate Dave will beat him.
Well, listen, massive weekend for Matchroom on DAZN. Firstly, of course, in Sheffield with Dave Allen against Arslan Beck Makhmudov, and then over to Philadelphia for Jaron Boots Ennis, who moves up to the super welterweight division. All on DAZN, by the way. Cheers, Pat.
Thank you.
Well, we heard from Pat Brown's former stablemate and good friend Jack Catterall last week on the show, but this week we have some exclusive sound bites from the man leading the El Gato Corner, Bozy Ennis, over in Philadelphia, United States, now to reveal how things have come together his end and what he's going to be working on ahead of November 15th's fight against Echo Esserman.
Jack was here like maybe 3 or 4 months ago. He came to the gym. He just came to the workout. You know what I mean? Work out, be around us, you know what I mean? And I had him boxing a couple of my guys. And everybody took to Jack. Jack is a pretty good fighter too. So I got a phone call from his manager a couple weeks ago, whatever. Well, I stayed in contact with Jack every now and then. And he says, what do you think about training Jack? You like? I said, Jack, oh, I don't mind training Jack. Jack listens. You know what I mean? When he was here, I was showing him defense and everything. Even though he can fight, but he still needs to tune up on certain things. You know what I mean? And he said, well, we got 2 guys to pick from. It's you and Bomac. And I said, it's up to you who y'all pick. He already picked you. So I said, okay, tell him come on down. They've been here. since Monday. They came Sunday, I think. Yeah. That's gonna make him better anyway. Being in that gym, he around good fighters. So that's gonna make him better. You know what I mean? And I already put him on defense, catching. Then I put him on defense yesterday without the hands. You just slipping and moving and doing all that. That's all really he did. He can fight. He's a good counter puncher too. So he put all this in his arsenal. Ain't nobody gonna be beating him. Just sharpen him up on the defense. He moves good though, but I'm talking about catching shots right in front. A lot of times you ain't gotta move. You know what I mean? You can be right there, catch the shots, and come back off the shots instead of moving around so much. You know what I mean? You can put both of them together though. Sometimes you'll do that, sometimes you won't. You know what I mean? And that's what happens with the defense. You're gonna see when he fight, he's gonna be different. He's gonna be different. Just like I told you about what's the name? Andy Cruz. He was a different type fighter. You know what I mean? When I start working with him. You know what I mean? Because I specify on that defense. I don't like my guys getting hit, but everybody get hit, but it's the way you get hit. You know what I mean? And that's what I got him working on. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm gonna make sure he put on a show, a tremendous show.
Well, I must say, Scott, this has been a weird week, weird few days. I mean, it's probably the most under wraps I can ever remember something being, and I think that shows in the fact that it did not get leaked.
Well, to be fair, half the Matchroom team were sort of kept in the dark about it, which shows the
I've had to be
the mission. Yeah,
avoiding all sorts of conversations and
yeah, but sometimes the secrets are better kept that way, and it's obviously worked, and it hasn't leaked. So yeah, great news.
What's your reaction?
Slightly surprised, very happy, of course, but he's a nice bloke as well. I think people kind of see the on stage, in-ring sort of bravado and maybe take a dislike to him. I think it's pretty well documented he's a fighter. You'll watch him because you'll hope to either A, see him get knocked out, or B, you'll love him. But I think take away the fighting style, he's actually a really nice bloke. So yeah, really excited to be working with him. He's got a lot of ideas, and he's going to do it his own way. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this next chapter of The Surgeon.
He's a bit of a maverick, I think, isn't he, in that sense? Does definitely want to do things the Ben Whittaker way. But like you say, I mean, well, a few years ago, I interviewed Ben Whittaker about signing for Matchroom.
Yep, April 2022.
As far as I was aware, the deal was nearly done. So we did a welcome to the team chat with him, and then
it was all done, wasn't it? Yeah, the graphic was done.
Yeah, but boxing, it's a business, right? And there was some last minute changes behind the scenes, and he went elsewhere. So we had a bit of a joke about that when we were filming this top secret promo a few days ago in London. I was whisked off to some secret destination and just told that I needed to remember what I learnt in GCSE drama. That's pretty much all I knew. Got there, dressed up as a SWAT team man. And by the way, I filmed it with a couple of our security guys, Billy and Rob, and I don't know what was going on, but they didn't have actual bulletproof. Like, theirs wasn't heavy. Mine was like a flipping 10 kilo vest.
Well, little do you know, Jamie, that's part of the forthcoming small talk prank. No, I'm joking.
Oh, imagine. Actually, on the car home, I was thinking, God, imagine. But like in the, I had it on for about 5 hours, 9 till 5 I was there.
Looks like you got a bit of eyeliner on. You still got it on?
Yeah, I couldn't get the paint off either. Couldn't get the paint off, but it was so fun. Like, I mean, you've seen the promo now. We're running in, and Ben levitates in the air, and it was all very Hollywood. But it was surreal a few days. But I'm really excited. From a content perspective, the fighters who get it, the fighters who make your job easy, away from, of course, what happens in the ring, is a blessing, really. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun with Ben Whittaker, definitely. Really excited.
Talking about content, I've got some behind the scenes of you from that very promo, which I think we're about to have a look
at.
Right
in
about
circles. Now. Let's have a look. Feel the weight in that. Honestly, feel the weight in that. You couldn't even lift it up, you melt.
You all right?
Yeah, it's fun. It's hard work.
You look a mile about Home Alone.
You do a bit, actually.
I know it looks like I'm just pissing around there, mate, which I was, to be fair. I got a bit distracted at times, but it was hard.
Bit of a natural with that gun. There's all that practice with Pat Brown, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was brilliant, actually. Pat Brown, clay pigeon shooting. You done it before?
I've never done it, mate. No,
it's actually easier than you'd think.
Did you have all the gear on, the jacket? And
I had a gilet sort of thing on, and not one of Nigel Travis's caps.
Mate, it suited you, to be fair.
It was fun. So that'll be dropping up probably in the next few weeks, I'd imagine. But that was a lot of fun, clay pigeon shooting. So yeah, maybe. It was just a weird few days, but
that's the
I think
job, mate.
Yeah,
no day's ever the same, is it? So
yeah, And obviously, aside from the Ben Whittaker news, which has taken over our lives over the last
weekend,
the last few days, big week for Matchroom, I guess. You know, me and you were over in Sheffield, up in Sheffield, I should say, and then half the team are split over in Philadelphia. But for Dave Allen, I mean, aside from the superstar he's become, being friends with Louis Tomlinson, now an underwear model as well, you know, make of that what you will. That was brilliant. That was so funny. You know, he's just that fighter that you just so want to win and so want to do well every time he is in the ring. Why do you want to think that is?
Good question. I guess he's just himself. It's a lot of bravado in boxing. People change it when when the camera starts rolling. He's just himself. He doesn't give a fuck about anyone.
Dave Allen.
He literally is himself. You know, for maybe all the faults he's got, the positives shine through because he is authentic, and people took a shine to him. He's not shy to say what he thinks as well. I think he's just a normal bloke, isn't he? Let's be honest. And now we've seen him evolve with a family. I think you can kind of warm to that side as well. So yeah, he's just the people's champion in some ways. It's a bit of a cliche, but it's kind of true.
Yeah, and you heard what Pat Brown was saying. You know, he's just gone to a different level. You know, I think, like you say, probably being a dad has probably given him certainly matured him, I think, in some ways, definitely, and given him a different edge. You'll know better than me. You're a close friend with Dave. I certainly, you know, I get on well with him and know him on a professional level, but I've noticed that in him over the last year or so, that shift in him, and I think that probably is down to being a dad, but also in the sense that I think he's finally believing in himself now. Yeah,
which he's never done, let's be honest. To be fair, he called to Fisher a second fight, didn't he? That's probably the first time, but that probably comes with the backing of Jamie and Nigel, to have confidence in you as well. Because look, you know, he ducked in and out of various trainers, trained himself for one fight, which is crazy looking back. But having that, you know, confidence and people in the corner that believe in you, I think will instill confidence in himself as well.
Yeah, and he said to me, you know, he'd almost like not train 100%. So if he got beat, he had an excuse. He had a reason in his own mind that wouldn't, you know, that almost validated the defeat. But he said this time, you know, if he gets beat, he's accepted that he's just been beat by the better man because this is the best version of Dave Allen right now.
I think as well, people do forget the short notice fights that he took, probably stupidly in one aspect. I think I saw Jamie Moore maybe say if he does get a Wilder fight, there should be a film made of Dave Allen. Crazy, really. And obviously got a pair of his fight-worn trunks here on the sofa from the Leroy Thomas 2 fight. Not sure about the style of the Rocky style. Don't really think he pulled it off, but there you go.
Yeah, no, they're unbelievable, by the way.
I need to get them framed. They were sort of semi-framed, but yeah, I will do shortly.
And just elsewhere on in terms of what's happening this weekend, one fight aside from, of course, the main event that I cannot wait for is Junaid Bostan and Bilal Fawaz Part 2. I mean, he's certainly a character, isn't he, Bilal Fawaz? Make sure you check out both Day in the Lifes, actually, one with Junaid Bostan and one with Bilal Fawaz, but particularly with Bilal in the sense of understanding a little bit of the man he is and his life and the character that he is as well. I guess the pressure is on Junaid here in this fight, right? He's the backed fighter, the promoted fighter, the star boy, as the name suggests.
And
Bilal,
at home as well.
At home, yeah. Bilal, I guess, you know, the age isn't on his side, but he's so confident, firmly believes that he won the first fight, believes he wins the second fight even more impressively than he believes he won the first fight. But I guess for Junaid, talking about maturity earlier on in our little chat there, what do you expect to see differently on both sides in the rematch?
I like the fact Junaid Bostan has now got Mick Conlon on his side as well, someone who's been around the block, he won't mind me saying that, has the experience, and Mick will know that Bilal is trying to get in his head. I think you can see that a mile off anyway. So just having someone else as a fighter who's been to the very top, maybe just to pull him aside in the gym as well, just almost sort of help him through it. I think that will be quite a big factor. You won't necessarily see that, but behind the scenes, I'm sure it'll be quite a calming influence.
Actually, just quickly, I know I've mentioned about your and Dave's friendship, because Frank Smith, when I first joined Matchroom, one of the first things he said was, you do know we have a whole stable of fighters, because I think you'd released 4 Dave Allen interviews on YouTube in a week. But like
featured films, yeah.
Do you get nervous when you watch him? Out of all the fighters, do you get nervous?
Well, firstly, if Matchroom listened to me from day one, I'm sure Dave Allen would have been sort of selling out Bramall Lane, Hillsborough, Keatmoat, whatever it's called these days. But it's funny how he's sort of come full circle. To answer your question, yeah, I do. You know, he's a friend, isn't it, at the end of the day? I'm sure, we all have our own relationships with fighters. Remember, the David Price fight, obviously you're trying to working on the socials on the night, quite difficult seeing him stretch it out. But, I guess from my point of view, I have to remain professional and crack on with a job. But, Yeah, no, definitely. Probably won't be able to watch it ringside just through sort of content release and whatnot, but we'll be the first one to jump in the change room afterwards should he win and give him a big old hug for sure.
Big week.
Big week, mate. Looking forward to it. Yeah, looking forward to the Philly card as well. I'm not sure if I'll stay up. I don't know if I've got the stamina these days, but I'll probably watch it the following day. I've actually got a question, Jamie. Someone has emailed in. And don't forget, you can email flashknockdown@matchroom.com if you've got any questions for the guests, for us, any mumbo jumbo. So, I don't know if this is one of your mates, by the way. Jamie Sawyers.
Same name, but no.
He says, what's the most embarrassing thing to happen to you both at a fight week? I don't know what's prompted that question.
Embarrassing thing?
Yeah. I mean, probably can't say on camera.
I've had a few.
Want me to start?
Can I say it? Do you think the ones...
Don't know what you're going to say.
The famous story? Eddie's...
There's plenty of famous... yeah, I mean, he was young and naive and...
We went on a night out in Newcastle after, I think it was Lewis Ritson against Robbie Davis Jr. And I'd only been in the job for a couple of months, I think. No, had I? Yeah. It was early days.
It was very early days.
Yeah. And we ended up in a big suite room and I drank all of the miniatures out of the fridge door. Went into Eddie's toilet, threw up all over the floor. Can I say this? I mean, I've said it now. I was sick in Eddie's room, basically. And then, as far as I am aware, from what I've been told, is that I sort of slid out the door, like back to the wall like this, to try and sneak out the front door. But everyone was watching me come out the toilet. And I woke up in the morning to a text in the main Matchroom group chat.
I just found it.
Saying Jamie sacked in morning, about 3 in the morning. What time was it sent?
3:28 a.m. Eddie Hearn, Jamie sacked in the morning.
Right.
Another member of staff followed it up at 12:25 with a load of question marks. Someone else replied with the monkey eye emoji, and then you went, nice knowing you all.
Right, so I woke up. My train was meant to be at 9 a.m. Woke up about 11:15 to the hotel trying to get me out of the room. Woke up, saw Eddie's text, was so scared because I couldn't remember what had happened. I threw up again. And the rest, as they say, is history. Character building.
That made you, mate.
Character building.
I'm trying to think mine.
Be interesting to see if that bit stays in. It's not that bad, is it?
Nah, maybe we've all been there. Maybe not on Eddie's floor, but...
Yeah, it was bad. I just remember, imagine the fear when that set in. Of all people. I imagine what went through my head. I was like, what have I done?
Still worried about it now, aren't you?
No, I'm all right now, I think.
What was mine? Mine, I don't know, embarrassing, but maybe slightly awkward. I had to retrieve the belt from Inoue's post-fight press conference when he destroyed Jamie McDonnell in 30 seconds in Tokyo. And Jamie McDonnell was going straight to the airport, so needed the belt. And I basically had to stop his press conference, Inoue, to basically get the belt. And as I walked in the room and when I spoke to one of his team who spoke a little bit of English, I was like, I need the belt, like now. He went, oh yeah, just go and get it. As I walked to the stage, all the cameras are turning around on me. I could see about 7 cameras following me. Went straight to the stage, shook his hand, took his WBA belt, which was Jamie McDonnell's. Obviously the belt stays with the champion.
Yeah.
Inoue already got a new one. I think he looked at me as if to think, who the fuck is this bloke? And the first thing I could think of, I said to him, obviously he couldn't understand what I was saying. I said, we will see you very soon with Ryan Burnett in the World Boxing Super Series, and just did some little salute like that.
Did you?
Took the belt and everyone's filming me. It's probably on YouTube somewhere. And I just sort of scuffled out with the belt, and I was just thinking, what have I done?
So this is the levels, right? So your most embarrassing story, you stuck it on Naoya Inoue.
Stuck it, yeah. Pretty.
And in my most embarrassing story, I nearly got sacked and threw up all over the floor. Levels. Well, thanks as always for listening to Flash Knockdown, and thanks very much to our guests this week. Of course, Mr. Leo Atang, who joined us here in the studio, promoter Eddie Hearn, Bozy Ennis, Louis Tomlinson, Pat Brown, and of course the surgeon Ben Whittaker. Welcome to the Matchroom boxing team. As you can see, that makes me and a lot of people here behind the scenes at Matchroom very happy indeed. Don't forget to give us a like, a rating, a subscribe across all of your preferred podcast platforms. We'll be back next week for all the lowdown and reaction from Sheffield and Philadelphia on Flash Knockdown. We'll see you then.
What a shot!